my first live session of the COVID-19 support line, I suppose. My name is Dr. Ruth Mary Allen. I'm a certified high performance coach and certified brain health coach through the Institute of Better Health and also the Amen University. And I'm really excited to be able to come to you live. I put it off for a little bit because I was worried about what time commitment I could make based on everything that's been going on and my commitments outside my civilian job. So here I am today, and what am I going to talk to you about today? Well, I've been running sessions, workshops every week to help people during this pandemic really focus on how they can build their mental resilience. And time and again, people are really struggling to know how they can ground themselves during this time and really get back to basics and really get back to what really matters and taking back control of their mindset. So I really wanted to talk to you today about my 5 pillars of brain health. And this has been described by really large corporations in industry as a really powerful tool because it's so simple. I teach it not only to adults but also to children, and it's really useful in helping you and your family reflect and ground yourself, calm yourself down during this pandemic. So what are the 5 pillars of brain health? Well, these are remembered by the mnemonic FACTS, F-A-C-T-S, and the first letter in the mnemonic FACTS is all about feelings. So this really taps into your emotional well-being. When I'm talking about feelings, you want to ask yourself the question, how am I feeling today? So if you think about how you're feeling today, or even over the last couple of weeks since this pandemic lockdown happened, what 3 words would you use to describe how you're feeling right now? Why is that really important? Well, it's really important because we're driven by our emotions. Everything that we do tends to be driven by our emotional mindset. So there's several parts of our brain that are responsible for our emotions, and one of them is the amygdala, which gets turned on in our fight or flight response, and the amygdala really short circuits what we call our prefrontal cortex, which is our human part of our brain, the part of our brain that's responsible for forethought, logic, sensible human decisions, planning. It's that cop part of our brain. And when we're in that fight or flight response, we're totally driven by emotions and we don't really engage the most human part of our brain. So by thinking around how you're feeling in this present moment, starts to engage that human part of your brain, that front part of your brain. And that really helps you bring yourself back into reality, not that emotional space that you might be stuck in, and really help give you that kind of third party view on how you're doing. So when you're struggling with your feelings, make sure you write them down and reflect on them and ask yourself that question, why am I feeling that way, and what can I do that's in my control to help me feel better? So that's the first one, of the mnemonic FACTS, feelings. The second pillar of brain health is for actions. So think about your actions that you've taken today. Are your actions helping you or hurting you? Are they helping you improve your brain health? Are they hurting your brain health? So classic examples in the lockdown space is people will be reaching for the bottle of bubbly or reaching for the bottle of beer to try and calm their nerves, and that is maybe helpful in the short term, but certainly from a long-term perspective that is not a great beverage of choice in terms of helping your brain health. Why? Because alcohol is linked to 7 different types of cancer, and it also restricts blood flow to your brain. Not only that, it also starts to shut down your prefrontal cortex, which means you're going to make more bad decisions, and they're going to be driven by your emotions. We all can get really emotional when we're drinking alcohol, and less driven by logical, thoughtful decision making, using that human part of your brain. So what actions are you taking that are helping or hurting you during this current time? The third pillar of brain health is C, is for connections. And this is connections to ourselves, our purpose, our values and beliefs, and also our connection to others. Now let's just focus on the first bit, which is connection to ourselves. Some people in the current crisis are feeling like they've lost their sense of purpose. And what I'd ask is, what do you feel your sense of purpose is? Not just necessarily your day-to-day purpose, but what is most important to you. So if you're a mother, what is important to you from showing up as a great mother? What's your purpose from a mother or a father perspective? What's your purpose from a grandparent perspective? And how can you still fulfill that purpose that you have in life, even though we have been put into more of a lockdown position? What can you do differently to help you still fulfill your purpose? So that's the first part of the pillar of connection. The second part is your connection to others. And we're constantly hearing this term social isolation, which in fact is much more about physical isolation. It's so important in this current climate that we connect with people online, that we connect with people using social media, using apps like FaceTime, like Zoom, anything that you can do to have that connection to the people that matter to you most. And perhaps you need to do it much more often than you would have beforehand. And if you're really missing that physical connection, what can you do to kind of spice up any social connection that perhaps you wouldn't have thought about previously to make it feel more physical, even from a virtual perspective? So the fourth pillar of brain health is T, is for thoughts, and these are so important. So often our thoughts control us rather than us controlling the thoughts that we have, and we don't have to believe every stupid thought we have in our head. And often those thoughts that come into our head, maybe we're telling ourselves things that aren't 100% true, can drive how we feel. So feelings of hopelessness, feelings of isolation, what is the thought that is triggering that feeling? And is what you need to do is think about, is that thought true? And challenge those thoughts that you have in your head. And that's so important. It's something that we're not taught at school, we're not taught in college, but it's fundamental to really helping you take back control of your mindset. And then finally, the fifth pillar of brain health is our surroundings and how we sense our surroundings. So connecting with our 5 senses. So what we see, hear, feel, touch, and taste. So how can you connect more with your surroundings, and how can you optimize your surroundings so that you're showing up as your best self? So this could be simple things like tidying your office, simple things like tidying your house, cleaning it. Some people may have already cleaned it 1,000 times, perhaps putting plants in your room, reordering your room a little bit to make it feel much more comfortable for you. So what can you do to improve your surroundings? It may be just really tiny things that you can change that really make an enormous difference. So if we think about the 5 pillars of brain health, first of all, we're talking about F is for feelings, checking in with our feelings and making sure that we are looking at ways, steps we can take to help us feel better and move us away from any negative feelings that we have. Second is A is for actions. What actions are we doing that are helping or hurting us? And can we do something more positive in terms of actionable steps to help improve our brain health, help improve how we feel, how we behave, how we're showing up in the world? C is our connections to ourselves and to others. How can we connect more with our purpose in life, and how can we connect differently and more proactively with those that will support our well-being, that will support our growth? T is for our thoughts, not to believe every stupid thought that we have in our head, because frequently we lie to ourselves and tell ourselves stupid things. And S is for surroundings, is optimizing our surroundings to make sure that we are able to show up as our best self and connecting with our 5 senses, so that we're really looking at our surroundings in a different way. Now, I hope that serves you as a baseline for you to check in with yourself and with your family to really help you ground yourself during this time. So if you're struggling at any point in the day or during this period, ask yourself, well, what's the facts behind my well-being at the moment? And check in with each of those so you can really ground yourself again and focus on what's most important to you. Now, I'm going to be coming live every day, I hope, based on my commitments that I have. So I look forward to talking to you all guys soon. If you want to learn more about brain health, if you want to find out about the workshop that I have, the free workshop that I'm running every week to help people build their mental resilience, then check out my webpage. It's ruthmaryallen.com/COVID-19 support, and you'll find loads of information on there on how you can help take back control of your well-being and boost your mental resilience during these difficult times. Look after yourself. I look forward to talking to you very soon. Bye for now.